Good evening, Professor Paulo, people from the MBA, whoever is watching this video. We will present the presentation for class 12 about the complexity in sensemaking. The papers that this work is based are on the description of the video. The texts were written on the two of them on the 8th and the other three on the last 6 years, so they are relatively new. The authors will say that this time is complex, and we can agree with that. The years 8 were a lot more complex than they used to be, and today they are even more. Today the companies face change frequently, daily. They have a challenge about the complexity. As we spoke last class, the managers won't be able to manage every little piece on the company. They need to give power to the people to manage themselves. So it's a trend. The self-managed teams that the person will be able to decide what's best for them and for the company. The companies should act with adaptability and flexibility. They should be able to respond more quick to the changes on the environment. So our objective with this paper is to gather evidence that simple solution most likely won't work on complex environments. All of the authors, I think all of them, at least Daft and Weick, Sargut, and McGrath, will say that the organizations are more complex and the multidimensional that they used to be. When they say more complex, all of that we already talked. Like complex system, like our soccer board. A soccer team is an example of a complex system because the relations between the parts are not simple. A complex system is not just a sum of the parts. Iteration between the pieces matters for the system. So a soccer team is an example of a complex system, and companies are an example of a complex system, complex situation. The manager beliefs will matter on this complexity. Organizations need to have knowledge of the environment, deep knowledge of the environment. But when we say organization, most likely we're talking about the manager's point of view, or at least the groups that has power, the group that exerts influence about the others. So the individual beliefs of the manager will have power, will have we exert some influence on the company, because the company itself doesn't think, but the people behind it that think and their beliefs influence the companies. So organizations are open social systems, like Daft and Weick said. They said that the companies, in order to learn from the complex environment, they must scan, they must look for evidence on the environment, they must interpret it, and they will learn with the interpretation. They say that the interpretation is a human thing. Of course, we now see cognitive computing, artificial intelligence, that is improving their thinking. But we can say today that interpretation still is a human thing. When machines are able to gather information, analyze, and bring conclusions out of that, we can say that it is a machine thinking too. I think we're getting closer to that. But Weick, the texts that are from the 8th, they say that interpretation is a human thing. Interpretation is the process between the meaning is given to the information. So an event is not, it doesn't bring me learning until I get interpretation, information about that event. Weick will say that trial and error is not always available. Some companies cannot afford making mistakes. Other people will say that mistaking is good. Not good, but a person that makes mistake, she is more prepared to the job next time because he already made the mistake. So he's more experienced than another person that didn't make the mistake. Probably this person will most likely make a mistake in that someone that already made that mistake, because it's a learning thing. He also says that accidents happen because humans are not able to anticipate and manage a complex system. Training is used to prevent, but also can cause accidents. The example he gave to us is the air traffic controller. When the air traffic controller gets anger on the situation, he walks away, he's out, he won't be chosen for the job. But they say that the people who walks out may be more sensitive to some situations. So giving the job for that people could reduce accidents. But since the training is to eliminate those peoples, this option won't happen. Even when training works, it has problems. If the person didn't commit a mistake, he won't be able when the mistake happens. It's difficult for every career, I think. Someone never make a mistake. So when the mistakes happens, what he will do? That will depend on of what he knows. If he didn't make the mistake, he won't know how to react. And to randomly distribute operational errors, implant the errors on the trains, it wouldn't be clear because the person wouldn't be able to predict when the error will happen. Weick also says to us that a sensor needs to be as complex as the system. We talked about that on the previous, or some of the previous class. To have a complicated problem, to have a complex problem, I need a complex solution. If I give a simple solution to resolve a complex problem, it most likely will give you trouble. We see that frequently on the companies. We have complex situations, and the people, the managers, the executives, choose one point of the situation to be worked on, and ask us to work only on that point. For example, timing. They ask us to reduce time, and the people will start doing things more quick in order to achieve time, but probably will have more errors, will have more work not well done, because it is doing by the half only to close quick, so it's not the best solution. Weick will tell us that too much richness, too much information will bring inefficiency of overcomplication. Too much information, I won't be able to get solutions against that because my brain won't comprehend to all those information. But too little richness will lead to inaccuracy, inefficiencies, oversimplification of the thing. So we need to get to a half term. We have to bring some information that we can, level of detail on the information that we can bring solutions of that. Cunha, Clegg, Rego, and Gomes will tell you that complexity makes people looking for reason. Actually, sense making, why people need to do sense making? Because the human brain can't live with a doubt. If we don't know something, our brain looks for information about that. It looks for conclusions. Sometimes the conclusions are right, or sometimes they are not. For example, when the Indians or the native people of Brazil and the other countries, when they hear the thunder and they didn't know that it was an electric discharge, they thought that it was Tupã, that it was God talking to them. Because they didn't know, they didn't have that information, but they need to bring a conclusion of that. They could not just listen the thunder and assume it and they conclude that they just didn't know that. They need to bring information, a significance for that. So organizations do not always want their members sense making. They do not desire it sometimes. For example, the militaries, the authors will bring. Sometimes they deliberate cause sense breaking to not bringing people to achieving the meaning. Sense making involves more than cognition. It's not just a thinking. It involves embodied and inbrained phenomena, so it involves body and brain. It involves cognition, emotion, and the body. Sense making involves the five senses: smell, taste, touch, sight, and sound. And just phrase is fun. The senses are needed to make sense. Sense making involves conscious and unconscious cognitive and emotional mechanism activated by biological process. Eisenhardt and Henning Piezunka, they talk about complexity and strategy. So they say too much and too little structure. Companies cannot have too much structure that will paralyze. It will won't allow the company to be flexible to react to the chance. And also, if it doesn't have a structure too little, too little of that, won't have strong, won't have the power to do things. So again, it needs to go to the edge. It needs to find the halfway that's the best solution to its platform of operation. They say about the multi-business unit organization, some of them are high performing when they are managed and allowed to function as complex adaptive system. So the example they gave to us is General Motors and DuPont. General Motors and DuPont works as business units. General Motors has the trucks, has the cars, has the Americas, has the European business units. So it's able to react to the changes on each environment. They talk about organic and mechanic structures. We now know that mechanic structures were better on the tailors, on the Fayol's time, because you could anticipate the change, you could the information was more slow, change wasn't so quick. Now we need organic institutions, we need organic structures, because the information is quick, it needs to circulate fast. We can't have too much hierarchicals stopping the information from flowing accurately. So we need to realign and adjust for excellence. The companies are frequently doing this realignment process, looking for better scale, looking for better efficiency, to get some opportunities that may show on the company. So the companies are always on this realignment process. So by patching, by modeling, firms are able to target changing opportunities, creating or combining research, and generate innovations. Executives frequently rearrange business units, looping off pieces and transferring them to new and existing business units. So to get to that situation, they need to be modular. They need to be more modular. They need to be able to quickly rearrange. You know, like a Lego, when you combine the pieces like you want. The company needs to be like a Lego, of course, metaphorically, but they need to be able to change things, to be able to recombine, to react. They need comparable metrics. The metrics will be used to know how and when get the opportunities. It's always good to remember what Hannah and Freeman said some classes ago. We had this test that we should not spend more energy on the process. Hannah and Freeman said that the reorganizations may increase the death rates of the company. So be changing all the time without reason, it's not a good thing. We know that a lot of executive presidents, mayors, when they get to the power, to the position, they try to make things, rotate things, in order to show they are doing something. And if it gets better results of it, it's their fault. So it's not a good thing just to rotate in order to hoping some solution or some improvement will happen. The optimal scale occurs at the edge of costs, where executives balance efficient scales economies with flexible adaptation and unpredictable. So, like we said, the best, too much structure is bad, too little structure is bad. So the best solution is the edge, where you'll find the most optimal way. Sargut and McGrath, they say complexity is a lot greater than it used to be. Policies and procedures are obsolete. For example, Goodyear, in Americano, we have a large plant of Goodyear, and I was hearing at the college I'm working in Datuba, There's another professor from Americana, and he was telling that in Goodyear there was a person that he only packed the tiles, and he was there packing tiles, and someone come to him and asked, "Hey, why are you packing the tiles?" "I don't know." "And if you don't know, why are you doing that?" "I don't know, someone told me to pack the tiles." "And who said that?" "I don't know." "And why?" "I don't remember, it was a long time ago." "And it has an implication?" "I don't know." So I stopped doing that. And the person, and they stopped to packing the tiles, and it brought, if I'm not mistaken, 30,000 reais of saving, only stopping packing the tiles. So it was a policy, obsolete policy that someone invented a long time ago for no reason, probably no reason, and it was still applying. But more commonly than we think. A lot of companies are full of myths or legends that the person needs to follow without knowing why. Complex systems are difficult to manage, and managing a complex system like a complicated system may be very bad. For example, airplane is a complicated system. It's not. We all will agree that a lot of systems, a lot of terminals, sensors, and the air, and the speed, and the altitude. It's a lot of combinations, but most of the time it will be complicated because you have a manual, you can understand how the pieces of the system will act,